Hello everyone, my name is George Weremchuk. I'm the Saxophone Professor at the University of Central Florida, and I hope all of you are doing well during this difficult time, that you're remaining healthy and trying to stay active, and that you're practicing your saxophone every day. I wanted to share a couple of routines that I do every day when I practice. Might be something you would incorporate into your daily schedule. First thing I like to do after I've warmed up, make sure my reed is working properly, is start off with a chromatic scale. I start off on low B flat, the lowest note on the instrument, go up to high F sharp, back down. Some of you may be more comfortable playing 2-octave chromatic scale from C to C. That's perfectly fine. But as you progress and you want to ramp up your technical ability, you want to play the entire range of the instrument. So as I play, I'm looking for evenness of technique, evenness of tone through the entire range of the instrument, making sure my fingers stay close to the main body of keys. Oftentimes I see students with their fingers kind of moving away from the main body of keys, so try to keep them as close to the body as you can. I always practice with the metronome. Never practice anything without it. Keeps us all honest. So here's starting a low B flat chromatic scale. One thing that I would recommend as far as fingerings, when you play the chromatic scale, you want to use the chromatic F sharp fingering. You don't want to cross your fingers over because inevitably a grace note will sound between those. So F, F sharp, G. Coming down is a little bit tricky. G, F sharp, F, but that will avoid getting the little blip between notes when you're crossing fingers. I use the side B flat for the fingering, so it's A plus the B flat key. Sometimes I see students use the 1-in-1, which is not the best fingering in this situation. Also, I'll see students using bis sliding up to B. That's also not good technique. So in a chromatic scale, you want to go A sharp B or A B flat B. Okay. As you notice, I kept my palm key fingers close to the main body of keys, and I was striving for a very even tone throughout so that the low register doesn't honk out, which is very common with a lot of younger players. Nice and even tone throughout. I'll then move on to my major scales. I'll play harmonic minor scales, melodic minor scales. A book I can recommend for scales is called Daily Studies for All Saxophones by Trent Kinniston. It's a book that has all those scales in there, also diminished scales, whole tone scales, also different chord studies. So it's a very useful book. It's one I use with the students here at UCF, and it's really the only scale book you would ever need. So I move on to the major scales now. I also play them full range. So if I'm playing C major, start off on low C, go all the way up to high F because that's within the scale, back down to low C, B, and then end on C. So I usually play it slurred, tongued, thirds, and arpeggio. Today I'll just play it slurred, the thirds, and then the arpeggio. So I'll go through all my major scales, harmonic minor scales, melodic. I always start off at a slow tempo. That's 180 for the quarter note. I'll go up to 126, play them all again, 132. It can be tedious, but if you're really wanting to become a very fine saxophone player, there are no shortcuts. You've got to put the time in. Practicing things slowly with the metronome is key. When I'm through with that, I'd like to do some intonation work. playing along with a fixed pitch. On your tuner, you can get an app that produces a tone. It's much better for ear training purposes than looking at a needle moving left or right. That you're using your ear to find out where the pitch is. So I'm starting off with B flat concert, which is G on the alto. I'll first start off playing the unison. I'll add the octave, then I'll add fifths, then I'll play scales, landing on the tonic. Okay, so first getting the B flat concert in tune. So I'm listening, trying to center right into the center of that pitch. I'll add the D next, which is the fifth. The D on all saxophone is going to be a little sharp, so before I play it, I'm going to lift the pitch down, lower the pitch with my jaw, and listen very closely for that. So here's, I'm going to play the D where I would feel comfortable playing. It's going to be sharp, and then I'll lower the pitch. So I have to bring it down considerably to get that in tune, but I've trained my embouchure to be able to do that, and I do that before I play the note, so I hit it right in tune. I don't play it sharp, then I bring it down. Listen again. I'll go up chromatically through the entire range of the instrument. Then I'll play the scale, stopping on the octaves and unisons. Over time, your brain will catalog what the pitch tendencies are on your instrument. Palm cue registers, notes are usually pretty sharp, so you have to lift those down. Low notes can be a little bit flat, so you've got to figure that out. And ideally, you want to know what that pitch tendency is before you play it. So I hope these couple exercises gave you some ideas on how to incorporate them into your own practice routine. In addition to this video, there'll be a handout link to it. I produced that several years ago, and it's basically fundamentals of saxophone playing. Embouchure formation, good technique, how to incorporate vibrato, how to use vibrato, how to break in reeds, things of that nature that I think would be beneficial for you. So again, I hope that this was of some assistance to you. I hope that we can get through this sooner than later, and then at some point we can all get together and play some beautiful music together. Take care. Bye-bye.